Now, on the right side of your screens for our audiences, we're showing you the Chief Minister's letter to the Governor. That's the letter you can see on the right side of your screens. I believe I actually have a colleague with me, Preeti Sompura, who's going to give us more of an explanation on the entire story. And I'll actually translate what she has to say after that. Preeti ji, हमारे साथ अभी जुड़ने के लिए धन्यवाद. हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए धन्यवाद. हम अपने दर्शक को अभी Preeti, I'm so sorry for speaking to you in Hindi. I believe we can actually have this conversation in English. Preeti, I do want to understand from you, what are the details of the letter we're seeing on the right side of our screens right now? Could you share with our audiences? Because it isn't large enough for our audiences to read it directly.
Just now, the Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has finished his meeting with all the MLAs who are with him. And after the meeting, he has sent the letters to the Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshari. In that letter, he has mentioned that 18 people will take cabinet ministry oath today. And in that, 18 names are Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil, Sudhir Munnatiwar, Chandrakant Dada Patil, Vijay Kumar Gavit, Girish Mahajan, Gulab Rao Patil, Dada Phuse, Sanjay Rathod, Suresh Khade, Sandeepan Bhumre, Uday Samant, Tanaji Samant, Ravindra Chauhan, Abdul Sattar, Deepak Kesarkar, Atul Sabe, Sambhurati Desai, and Mangal Prabhat Lodha will take oath today at around 11:30 a.m. In the letter, only one name is new in that letter is the Mangal Prabhat Lodha name, who is currently he is heading the Mumbai BJP cell in Maharashtra. He is the chief of Mumbai BJP. He will take oath today also. Earlier, all the names are there. Even Chandrakant Dada Patil, who is the Maharashtra BJP president, he will also take oath. So these two names are new. Otherwise, all the minister names who are there already there in the last cabinet with the Shinde, their names are there. And even when Devendra Fadnavis become a CM in 2014, during that time, all the ministers who was with him, like Girish Mahajan, is there. His name is also there. So just now, the Maharashtra Chief Minister, after finishing his meeting with all his supporters, he has sent his letters to the Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshari. We have the exclusive copy with us. In that, all the 18 ministers will take oath today as a cabinet minister. Their names are mentioned in that letter.
Okay, thank you for bringing that information to us. On your screens right now, for our audience's left side, current Chief Minister Eknath Shinde; in the centre, Governor Bhagat Singh Koshari; and on the right, former Chief Minister, current Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. My colleague Vinaya Deshpande bringing us updates of what's taking place in front of you in the Raj Bhavan. Let's go over to Vinaya to understand more. Vinaya, you were telling us details. A big day for Maharashtra politics. Just if you could describe for our audiences what we're seeing in front of us. All right, the national anthem is playing, so we are going to allow Vinaya also to stand there for just a second before we go back to her for the question. All right, Vinaya, were you able to hear my question? Could we come back to you now?
Yes, can you please repeat the question?
Yes, Vinaya, I was just asking if you could describe to our audiences the ceremony that we can see playing out in front of us. Also, Vinaya, is it too early to ask, since this is only the first cabinet expansion, there is likely to be another one taking place in a few months. Do we know who the big names are that are set to be disappointed by this, or is it too early to say?
Oh, well, right now it's really too early to say. We know for sure that there will be a second round of cabinet expansion that will take place in a few months from now. There is no hurry. The ceremony has already begun. In the meanwhile, we can see the Chief Secretary presiding over. We can see the Governor administering the oath. And right now, Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil becomes the first MLA to take oath to be sworn in as the cabinet minister in the Maharashtra government. So he joins Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. He is taking oath in Marathi, saying that he will uphold all the constitutional values. Remember, Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil is a strong man, Maratha strong man from Western Maharashtra, the sugar cooperatives belt. He is somebody who was previously with the Congress and who has become a part of the BJP. His son Sujay Vikhe Patil is an MP from the BJP. He is somebody who holds a lot of weight in Western Maharashtra. Maharashtra. He is, known to be a sugar baron as well. The Vikhe Patils have been traditionally a very strong political family in Maharashtra. So right now we can see that in order to make sure that the Maratha stronghold in western Maharashtra is retained, we are seeing that the name of Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil has been inducted. He signs on the paper and he becomes the first cabinet minister to be sworn in today in this ceremony, which has been a heavily anticipated ceremony because the Maharashtra government was formed almost 40 days ago and the cabinet expansion had not happened for such a long time. So inviting the ire of the opposition parties as well. So after Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil, it is the turn of Sudhir Mungantiwar. Now remember, the BJP is not just trying to get the regional balance right, but also trying to get the community balance right. In the Sudhir Mungantiwar, who was the finance minister in the earlier BJP Sena government when Devendra Fadnavis was the chief minister, is now being sworn in. He is a prominent face of BJP in Vidarbha, which is a stronghold of the BJP and which is being contested at present by the Congress as well. He is known as a very strong and vociferous face. He comes from the Vaishya community and he is known to be, he has been an MLA for several times as the finance and forest minister of Maharashtra. He had also implemented some of the important schemes here. We have known that he has taken both the Shiv Sena as well as the opposition parties head on in the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi government tenure as well, where he was seen as a prominent face of the BJP to take on the Mahavikas Aghadi government. So Sudhir Mungantiwar being sworn in, he is taking his oath right now. So Sudhir Mungantiwar becomes the second face, an MLA several times, a minister in the previous BJP Shiv Sena government. He is also looking at a major portfolio in the current government. He becomes the second leader to be sworn in as the cabinet minister in today's cabinet expansion here at Darbar Hall. He signs all the requisite papers as of now. Remember, Sudhir Mungantiwar is also someone who has a very sharp memory as well. So as the finance minister of Maharashtra, especially we journalists remember him to be mouthing very, very heavy numbers and different schemes and elaborating on them without any mistake whatsoever. So he is somebody who's known to have humongous memory, who's known to have a huge public outreach in Vidarbha, and who's clearly seen as vying for an important portfolio in the current government as well. So Sudhir Mungantiwar there, after being sworn in, it is the turn of Chandrakant Dada Patil, who is currently the Maharashtra BJP state president, whose tenure was to end within some time from now. He is considered a strong Maratha face from the western Maharashtra region again. So if you look at the names from the BJP camp right now, we are seeing that both Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil as well as Chandrakant Dada Patil are from western Maharashtra. Both are strong Maratha faces, while Radhakrishna Vikhe Patil is an import to BJP. The Chandrakant Dada Patil has been a part of the BJP and the ground movement for the longest time. His name was also contested for some time on whether he will be given an opportunity in the cabinet or not. Remember, as the state president of the BJP in Maharashtra, he handled several responsibilities, but there was some conflict on whether he will be given any important berth in the current ministry. It seems that